Today I'm drawing myself as a witch in the Witch Hat Atelier universe. While I do this, I wanted to talk about how I'm becoming a visual art teacher. There is a strange assumption around art teachers that they are artists that somehow didn't make it, as if teaching is the consolation prize or a backup plan for artists who don't get to be like the full-time artist. That idea says more about how people value art than it does about teaching. When people hear that I'm becoming a visual art teacher, there is often this unspoken, or at times, spoken assumption of, oh, so being an artist didn't work out. But the truth is, I never stopped being an artist. I still create art. I still obsess over color palettes and compositions. I still stay up way too late thinking about characters, stories, and brush setting. Art is not something that I failed at. Art is something I love so much that I'm dedicating my life to it. I think there is something sad about how people separate making art from teaching art, as if one is inherently more meaningful than the other. We romanticize the suffering independent artist who sacrifices everything for their craft. But rarely do we romanticize the teacher who helps hundreds of students discover that they are capable of creating something. I can trace my love back to my teachers, who helped me discover a passion and helped me nurture it. Somewhere along the way, I think a lot of people start treating art as less of a human experience and more of a competition, which is something I touched on in my last video. I think being an artist is as simple as loving creating. I stopped drawing for years after art school burnt me out. Not because I hated art, but because I had associated it with pressure and performance and self-worth. When I eventually returned to it, it wasn't ambition that brought me back, but simply the love of creating. The feeling of sketching birds, of designing characters. I would spend hours filling pages without worrying if they were good enough. At the end of the day, I was making art again because it helped me process my life and understand myself. And that experience honestly shaped the kind of teacher I want to become. I don't want to create students who are terrified of making imperfect work. I don't want students to feel like their creativity only matters if it becomes profitable or impressive. I want students to leave my classroom still loving art. That matters more to me than producing technically perfect artists. Because the reality is that most students will not become professional artists, whether that's by choice or simply by circumstance, but they will still live creative lives. And that could look like anything. They could be doodling during meetings, painting miniatures, designing tattoos, crocheting gifts for friends, making silly comics, decorating their homes, creating characters, or using creativity to survive difficult moments in their lives. Art will continue existing in them long after school ends. And I think helping people preserve that relationship with creativity is incredibly meaningful work. Honestly, I don't see becoming an art teacher as giving up on being an artist. If anything, it comes from loving art too much to keep it for myself. I still want to create and improve, and I still want to tell my stories through my work. But I still want to stand in a classroom one day and help someone realize that art is not reserved for geniuses, that creativity is not something you earn through talent, that making something badly, passionately, emotionally, and sincerely is still worth doing. Because sometimes the most important artist in someone's life isn't the famous painter in a museum. Sometimes it's just the teacher who made them feel excited to create for the first time.